page 50, section 152 of House Bill 3200 specifically says that all persons in the United States will be covered. That means if they're here illegally or here legally. It doesn't matter. It says they're going to be covered. Second of all, I'll tell you right up front, I'm an attorney. I prosecute here in Johnson County, and I'm proud of that. But I am an attorney, and I'm going to tell you, one young lady over here asked me about tort reform. That is the problem. Health insurance is not the problem. Tort reform. So my question to you is actually two parts. First of all, you said that those things aren't in the bill. Why haven't you passed amendments, or at least offered amendments to put those things in this bill? And second of all, earlier you said that you won't vote for this bill if any of the money to pay for it comes from the taxpayers. I've asked you this. The government gets 100% of its money from the taxpayers. So if there is one penny spent on this as a result of this bill, are you going to vote against it?
Doesn't sound hostile at all to me. Fair question. Thank you for what you do as a prosecuting attorney. Keep our families safe. Then, if I didn't state it clearly, let me state it clearly now. I didn't say I would automatically vote against a health care reform if any tax is in it. I said that I think the principle should be that if we're going to pass health care reform, it should be paid for. And what I can just tell you in terms of the House bill, the way it is presently proposed, and it could be amended, and so who knows what the final bill is going to be. But the House bill in right now, we have half of it paid for by cost savings. One of the things I want to look at is whether those cost savings are real. There's some that are real. You get people out of the emergency room and into family practice doctor's offices, and you save billions of dollars. Bringing more competition into insurance, I think, will lower costs. I think encouraging preventive care, making it easier for someone to get a colonoscopy rather than waiting until they have stage 4 colon cancer, which costs $400,000 a year to treat. And you can't put a dollar value on the lives lost. Focus on preventive care could be cost savings. One of the savings in this bill is to say to the Medicare HMO programs that it's okay if you want to provide an alternative to traditional Medicare, but don't tell us you can do it more efficiently than traditional Medicare. Then ask taxpayers to provide a $1,200 more per senior per person taxpayer subsidy than traditional Medicare gets. So $120 billion of the savings in the bill comes from leveling the playing field and saying to Medicare Advantage HMOs, you're going to get the same subsidy that seniors who are on traditional Medicare get. So those are some of the savings. The other part of the other half of the bill would be paid for by a tax surcharge of $500 a year on those making $400,000 a year, $1,500 on those making $500,000 a year. Whether that would be the final pay for or not, Dan, we'll have to see what happens between the House and Senate. But I do stand on the principle that the free lunch philosophy, we could spend more and cut taxes and not pay for either, is what got us into this deficit mess. I voted against a lot of those policies. We got to go back to fiscal responsibility, paying for what we get. And I believe strongly on that point. On tort reform, you said it's tort reform, not health insurance reform that's really the problem. I think it's both. I think the defensive medicine caused by frivolous lawsuits is driving up cost. We need to deal with it. But I don't think that alone will solve the problem, because we have had tort reform in Texas for a number of years, and yet that didn't keep the insurance companies telling friends of mine that own small businesses the rates are going up 30% this year because they had one employee that had serious illness. So I think we need both. I think we need to reduce the cost of defensive medicine, protect doctors from frivolous lawsuits, and we need health insurance reform as well. In regard to illegal aliens, I made the decision to come out today without a book full of notes, because I wanted to just have a dialogue with you. But Dan, if you will contact Victoria, and thank you for your great comments about her. She and Jennifer work very, very hard. If you'll contact our office in Cleburne next week, we will get the provision in the bill that makes it very, very clear that illegal immigrants are not covered under the benefits of this bill.
Ladies and gentlemen, John Downing will ask the next question. John is from Cleburne. Then after John will be Jim Alexander. John Downing.
Thank you, Congressman, for being here this evening. First of all, I ask my question, I'd like to point out that in Cleburne, we still trust in God. Sir, I have had the opportunity, I guess, to look at some of the provisions of this bill. Some of the things it talks about is supporting proposals that include euthanizing people, end-of-life options, abortion. How can anyone that calls themselves a Christian support such proposals? Thank you.
John, first let me say that as a son-in-law of a Baptist minister, I too trust in God, and I'm grateful to live in a country where we have the religious freedom to make that choice. In terms of your specific questions, first of all, I would not vote for a bill that had anything close to euthanasia. And let me tell you, folks, there are plenty of legitimate questions to ask about this bill, and you've been asking them tonight, and I salute you for that. But there is nothing in this bill that creates a death panel or a euthanasia program. I would vehemently oppose a bill if it had it in it, but it is not in the bill. You know, one of the things the Ninth Commandment teaches all of us, including me and my family, is that we have a responsibility to not bear false witness against thy neighbor. And the fact is, not you, sir, because you did make a suggestion that I had said something other than what I feel is the truth. But there are some who know that there is no euthanasia panel in this bill. They know there are no death panels in this bill. Come on. It doesn't pass the common sense test. Members of Congress are not going to vote for a plan that has death panels in it. And I tell you what I think is wrong. There's nothing wrong with opposing the bill and feeling vehemently about it. There's nothing wrong with supporting it. And there are Christians supporting and opposing this bill. I don't think this bill is a question of who's Christian and who's not. It's what do we think is best for the families of this country and preserving the quality of health care that we have today. So I hope, regardless of your feelings about the bill, and other areas where we might disagree on Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid, please, there should not be one senior citizen who goes to bed tonight in this district or any place in the